Hope everyone is having a good Saturday morning. Didn't think I was going to wake up today because I went to bed kind of late, but I did and felt all right, so decided to go with it. As per usual, I'm just going to check a few things before getting really into it. Checking volume on the stream. Yeah, my second monitor is really not cooperating these days. I got to get a new one. But because of that, I can only monitor YouTube right now. I gotta find an app that will like connect to my live streams and condense all the chats. I know that there are some out there. Everybody says Streamlabs or something like that, but I just looked at it and I'm not sure it lets me combine all the chats if I don't actually go live on my phone. Anyway, I'm sure there's something out there. I just gotta find it. These guys. These enemies went from me hating them to me thinking that they're actually kind of interesting to fight. Actually have to aim at them and shoot instead of just lock on, which I think is pretty clever. A nice little twist to kind of mess with you as the player. You've grown to rely too much on the target lock, and now it's taken away from you. Anyway, yeah. So if you're watching on X or Twitter, sorry, not X or Twitch or Kick. Sorry, I can't see your chats right now. I gotta really fix that. So sorry about that. YouTube, I can see your chats. I'll take a second here and there to kind of check, but Prime Hack is kind of finicky right now. Frame rates are about 45, which is not bad, but not great. But if I click away from the screen, it really doesn't like it. So everything's on one screen right now. That's why I can only see one chat. Yeah, I thought about streaming something different today, just to kind of switch it up. And I do need to do that, actually. I need to have like a better schedule with different content. But I'm enjoying Metroid Prime 2 more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. Part of me, like, I'd beat it a couple times as a kid, but when I say a kid, as a teenager, and I did enjoy it then too. I remember not enjoying it as much as Prime 1. So I was a little hesitant to be like, am I actually going to have fun doing this? Or is it just going to be in preparation for Prime 4? But I am pleased to say I am enjoying this game a lot. The world design is at least... bird o'clock. The world design is at least in how it looks is incredible. Definitely on par with any other entry in the series, which is fantastic. Like, I have HD textures loaded, but even still, the game looks pretty amazing when I turn them off. have to find some sort of, I don't know, more kind of episodic games. That would be pretty simple and easy to play here and there. I don't know. Go with the classic Mega Man X. Can't go wrong with Mega Man X. It's just Mega Man X. Everybody loves Mega Man X. It's a near perfect game. You can beat it in like an hour and a half if you're, or an hour if you're really flying. I'll also try not to get into any too deep topics immediately. I think one, I need to warm up because it's so early here. And two, you know, I do have some viewers that trickle in here and there and interact in the chat, so I want to give them time to get up as well. Yeah, as of right now, 5 o'clock is a 4:45 is when the stream actually goes up, and then usually like a few minutes later is when I actually get to actually start streaming. These things always still make me nervous because of the crashing that Prime hack is prone to. All right. This is the last area before I go on my nice little scavenger hunt that takes me across the world, which I think is the worst part of the game. I know I'm not alone in that. I also thought it was the worst part of Metroid Prime, even though it wasn't too bad in Metroid Prime. A Metroid. That was good. I didn't have any maneuverability there. Glad I killed it quick. New creature. Dark Diligence drone. Darkling possessed maintenance unit. Gains strength from symbiote. A high-powered burst of light energy can damage it. Oh, okay, there we go. It's a good thing I have something that can emit a high-powered burst of light energy. I always liked how the light gun, well, that was easy. The light gun isn't just like white. It's rainbow. You know, well, it is predominantly light, but there's like hints of rainbow in it, and I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. It makes a ton of sense. Nice little polished twist there. I forgot I don't have the light suit yet, so I'm still taking damage. An ing. They are pretty creepy. If you think about it. And yet another thing that is like they looked like the dark beasts from Twilight Princess. Man, I really do think I want to dig into this and figure out what kind of um, influence this game had on Twilight Princess, because there's a lot of similarities between these two games. You know, the whole dark world, light world trope has been around in many games for a long, long time. I think it's a way to it's a way for one. It has some good storytelling aspects to it. It's cool, but also I think it might have started out. I have nothing to support this, but it could have started out as a way for developers of the older systems to be like, hey, we don't have a ton of space to work with, but we want to make the world feel bigger. So let's put a dark world in where we can reuse a lot of the same assets, but just change their color, and then we can add in some different assets that will make the world seem different, and it'll encourage the player to want to go to different places and see different things. You know, it's not you're not in the dark world now. You have to go back to all the places that you originally were to see what's different. Okay, you know it's going to mostly be the same, but there's the unknown of if it's different or not is like enticing. So it's a very clever way to, I feel like, both to save space on limited hardware, but also encourage exploration. That's my theory behind it. I think it's a pretty solid one. Could be wrong though. Like an Ocarina of Time wasn't a dark world, but it was, you know, the future, and it made the world seem bigger, and you wanted to go back and see everything that you that you visited in the light world. Control system. Aha. Oh. Can I? Oh. That thing's in the way. That's annoying. Audio's a little weird, a little scratchy, so sorry about that. Oh, it's a portal. What's in here? Nice. I love that effect. How if you do like the little light pocket. It just vaporizes a dark enemy. It's really cool. This door I remember very specifically because it's a barrier, and you can't get past it until you get the sonic weapon, which I think it's in the Torvus Bog, which is as I mentioned last episode, it's one of the only times in the game, one of the only two times in the game where you actually have to leave an area that you uh, leave one of the temples like to progress in it. Usually you have to leave the temple, get something, and then come back. Sorry. Usually you can stay in the temple and finish everything. Like there's not too many times you have to leave a temple and then come back, but that's one of the two times that happens, and caused a lot of problems for younger me. But I did figure it out eventually, without a hint system, because I don't think they had the hint system back in the GameCube days. I think that was added later. I could be wrong about that. Someone correct me. Can I? I only remember being able to take these things out with the electric beam in Metroid Prime, so Vulnerable to... Okay. Of course, it's vulnerable to dark energy. Hey, little guy. So even though I'm playing this game again, I definitely do not have the area mapped out in my mind like I would playing Metroid Prime. Gotta power down the dynamo. Okay, let's go in here, see what's going on. So yeah, yesterday I posted one of my clips was on are there good or bad game design best practices or game design mechanics. It can't be destroyed by conventional weapons. Tremendous kinetic impact may damage it. Okay, so I gotta smack it with a boost ball. Yeah, I posted on like the clip of me talking about bad game design or bad game mechanics. Oh, what is this? I don't remember this. I have no memory of this place. Oh, it's a puzzle. Okay, that's cool. Um, yeah, I posted about good and bad game mechanics, and a developer from, I think his name's James Alex. I forget what studio he works for, but he's working on the game Silent Planet, which is a Metroidvania, and it looks really cool. um, I've been following it for a while. I can't wait for a demo. I'm definitely gonna play it once it comes out. But yeah, Silent Planet looks really great. Definitely look it up if you like Metroidvanias. It's got the awesome pixel art, all that fun stuff. Anyway, some people agreed with me saying that yeah, there's definitely some things you should not do as a developer when you're making your game because they just don't work. But he took the approach of like, well, no, there's no bad game mechanics. There's just situational game mechanics. It's like he likened it to like oil painting and how there's different techniques that fit different, whatever you want to achieve. And so I think what he's not wrong, but I think we needed to define our terms a bit more to kind of get at what be on the same page. Like for him, a game mechanic that's already established is established. Like it is a good thing to lead your player well, and it's just a question. It's a good thing to guide the player. That is the game mechanic, and what the only question is how well do you lead the player? That's really that. Like there's game mechanics, and then how effectively you implement those game mechanics. I was coming at it from a different sort of view that like that there's best practices, okay, for game design, and that there's practices that kind of fell out of favor because they weren't working. And I likened it to in teaching, there's because again my background is a teacher, so you'll have to put up with teaching teaching rhetoric here and there with me. I was a teacher for 10 years or 11 years, 10 or 11 years. Um, Direct instruction is very prominent. Like it happens a lot because you have to do direct instruction sometimes. Um, Direct instruction is like lecturing, and it happens a lot at the college level. But every teacher knows, and every teacher is taught that direct instruction is not optimal. It's not. It's not the most effective way of teaching. Like yes, some students will get it and be able to just digest um, direct instruction, but there's better ways to communicate knowledge and get that knowledge to be grasped or internalized by the student. Uh, like project based learning is like don't just tell them all the knowledge. Have them do something that will get them to experience the knowledge as they're doing something. It goes back to like you want them to have fun as they're learning so that they'll internalize everything. So that's what I mean. So like it goes to, are there less effective game design best practices and more effective game design best practices? That's kind of what I mean when I say good and bad. So I think we did come to a sort of agreement. Um, because I think in one sense we might have been talking a little bit past each other because we had different views on what I meant by good and bad, but ultimately I do agree with him. Like there is a time when you need to throw a text box up at the player, but because of the effectiveness of a text block, and which I think is the equivalent of direct instruction, um, you generally don't want to do that because it breaks the momentum of the game, and you just simply telling the player everything doesn't make anything stick. Have them practice what is going on first, and then put the text box in like an options menu so they can go and look at it if they need to. The games that teach you well don't usually have like a pop-up that interrupts your play and says, okay, now do this, okay, now do this, okay, now do this. It kind of like, it might do that once, but then even something like have the pop-up come up, but don't let it stop the gameplay. Just let it be something like your little side character says something to you as you play. Okay, you generally don't want to interrupt gameplay, the flow of the game, and usually that's what pop-up text boxes do, which is why people don't usually like them. Which is why Navi was so annoying in Ocarina of Time, or became notorious for being annoying, is because she kept interrupting play. Okay, I need my power bomb there. Where is it? Oh, that's new. Quad CM Rogue Combat Drone. Command module relies on range attacks. Beam shield can be breached by opposite polarity systems. Nice little touch there. Opposite polarity systems. It kind of leaves you something to figure out. Hey, it's light. The shield looks like it's light, so I'm going to use dark, Little tiny mini puzzle there to defeat this enemy. I believe this is the boss chamber. Yeah, this is the boss chamber. Definitely don't fight it now, I don't think. Or maybe I do. Fight something now. Ooh. I can't target it right now. They definitely want me to fight it. Fight it. Alright, let's scan this guy. Dark Quad CM. Darkling possessed combat drone. Ink possession strengthens target. Command module relies on ranged attacks. Beam shield can be breached by opposite polarity systems. Okay. Okay, see, that's kind of cool. So, they did a little trick there. Not a little trick, but a very common game design best practice, which means they prepare you for something before you actually have to utilize that tactic in a way that is more dangerous. So just before this fight, I fought that little security drone, and it was like, hey, this thing's got some polarity going on with its shield. Maybe use the opposite polarity. And I did, and it was pretty easy. And now we get to test out that kind of mechanic here, which, you know, tells me I'm going to have to use that kind of thinking from now on. There's going to be characters that shift polarity, and I'm going to have to shift back and forth. Kind of cool. You know, they did tell you about it by way of scanning. I could have figured it out on my own, but even the scanning was in character. If you know what I mean, like the log, the log wasn't like use the light beam, use the dark beam. Although that could have worked. It said it in scientific terms. You know, use the opposite polarity. You had to figure out what that actually meant. Or like how in the last episode there was that little puzzle. We had to bomb the colored areas. And it wasn't like green, blue, orange, and red. It was like amber, cayenne, emerald, and magenta. So it's like, even that is like, that's in character for a Metroid game. So little polished things really make a big difference when it comes to immersion. You know, no one thing will ruin it for you, but if there's not enough polish, you know, I do think immersion can be broken or not achieved at all. And I gotta say, Metroid Prime 2, I haven't played 3 in a while, so I can't speak for it, but these two games got a lot of polish on them and a lot of quality to almost every aspect of them that really try to get you immersed in the game. If you've never actually played a Metroid Prime game before, please do. Don't just watch me talk over it. Because these games are immersive. They really do draw you in. And it's such a fun experience. Hear the words of O'Lear, last sentinel of the Fortress Temple. The Fortress Temple. It's kind of a funny name. It's like usually it's either a fortress or a temple. Anyway. Safe haven for people during war. It also holds portals to the Ing Hive, the heart of their dark tribe. bring back the Luminoth. I really like their design. They're really cool. Another connection to Zelda. Those things are a lot like Guardians. And they got possessed by the Malice. Or sorry, the is the Malice? Yeah, it's the Malice in Breath of the Wild. Aw, there's his dead body. If only I could join you, redeem my fallen honor in battle. I love it. Good luck there, I don't think was top quality writing. Doesn't really fit with the Luminoth kind of way of life, it seems. Not the kind of person to walk up and slap you on the back and say good luck. Ugh, oops, I'm sorry. Okay, good. Not too bad. Not like the owl in Ocarina of Time. Did you get all that? Recently, I played the Ship of Arcanian, which is the PC mod for Ocarina of Time, and they did some quality of life updates, and that was one of them. Like, your cursor is already on yes, I got all that when you're mashing your button through the what the owl says. Okay, now I can translate Cayenne. Not blue. Cayenne. It's important. All right. This one's really explicit, but this type of leading the player is extremely common in Metroid games, where you get a new ability or something and then you're immediately given a chance to use it. You don't have to. I could have gone back the other way, but it's like, hey, this is the way you're gonna go. And now this is really interesting too, because I don't have the sonic weapon yet, which I think is what I need for this part. Yeah, I definitely need the sonic weapon here. So it's kind of signifying to me, like, what I think it's doing is like, hey, this is the way forward, but you can't get here yet. So mark it in your mind that this is here, and then come back. See, another thing that when I was watching Boss Keys on the Super Metroid episode, they do I have to kill all the guys to get through that? Oh, I do. Okay, fine. What he was talking about on Boss Keys was that sometimes what they'll do is, again, because in these older systems they can't really, the map was not very detailed in the Super Nintendo for Super Metroid. So they were limited with what they could communicate to the player. And one of the things that they did here and there was they make just, memorable spots on the map that will stick in your mind. Like the mouth, there's like a few instances where it's like the entrance to the big statue where you have to go when you after you beat all the bosses. Like, the entrance to that is like in the mouth of a big monster, so you remember, oh hey, there's a big mouth to a big monster there that I gotta remember. Or the entrance to get to Ridley as well. So it's, one of the ways to do things. And here you know, you're going to remember this room. And the way forward is that way, I believe. At least that's what the game is telling me. I think it is, at least. Can I not get through there? Yeah, I don't think I can get there yet. Maybe in the dark world I can get in there. Dark. That's quadraxis parts. Oh, I fell. Sorry. Oh, I can't get back until I get the spider ball, so maybe that is the way to go, and I just did not figure it out. Probably. Hmm. Ah, look at that. Very Zelda-esque. What is this thing? Okay. Power restored to kinetic orb cannon. Unit locked and current fire position. Auto fire feature enabled. Oh. Boom. Guess I should scan this guy too. Oh, I remember this. This is a boss fight to get the spider ball. Or the magnet ball, excuse me. I don't know if they call it the spider ball in this one. Also, if you've never played the original Samus Returns, you should go play it. Go on to Nintendo's NSO and boot up the Game Boy and play Metroid 2 Return of Samus, because for what it is, it's pretty great. In the sense that at the time, it was pretty great. But there are a lot of things wrong with it that make it very difficult, and again, probably due to hardware limitations. But it did have one of the first save systems in a game. Like you could actually save your game, but the screen was so small. Everywhere looked the same. There was no hint as to which parts of the map were like you could go through. Like there were invisible walls everywhere, and you had to use the spider ball on every surface of the map just to figure out the way to go. Yeah, I got that as a kid, and it took me years to beat. think I'm supposed to hit it when it's... Oh. This is a little frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I thought I'd be able to hit it there. Oh, can I just... I wonder if I can lay bombs here and it'll hit it. Yeah, maybe. Did that hit it? I don't know. And I'm bad at this. Okay, now here's the thing. I don't have the spider ball. How do I... Did I... Oh, wait. Why did it do that? How can I get in there? Oh, gosh, okay. Little platform dropped for me. Was that always there? Sorry, everyone. Okay, now what? Will it go through there? It's doing more damage to me than I'd like. Did I not hit the switch? Am I doing any... Okay, thank God. The problem with gimmicky fights... So, when I say gimmicky, I mean... We've all been there in that game where you're playing a game and it's like, this is the core gameplay, and then all of a sudden they throw in like a boss fight where you have to do something really completely different. Like an example that comes to mind is in Donkey Kong Country 3, where you fight the evil snowman. He Bleak. Nice weird Charles Dickens pun in the middle of a Donkey Kong Country game, Bleak's house. It's a fun fight. It's not too difficult. And, you know, it kind of fits with the goofy attitude of Donkey Kong Country. Plus, you get there's the mini game that kind of preps you for it if you took the time to do it. That's called a gimmicky boss fight where there's a new gimmick to master. Okay, I got to be careful because I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight this thing again, and I don't want to subject you guys to having me have to fight this again. So yeah, here we get a gimmicky boss fight, and it's not the first time we've encountered something like this before, but I don't know if this kind of thing is fun enough to actually warrant it being like this for what it is. I'm gonna die. I do not want to die to this thing. especially with what they're making me have to do to hurt it. Like, yes, I have to employ the boost ball. Oh, gosh. Okay, maybe I can... Oh, mistimed it. Yeah, I'm not sure this boss fight really works. Okay, good. I can hit it from behind there. Oh, I should have boosted there. Yeah, one more hit and I'm dead, so we don't want that to happen. That was close. Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. Now I just have to be super careful. Nope. Well, that was that was not careful. Oh gosh. One more hit and I am toast. Chill out. Oh, are you serious? Ugh. That is annoying. Yeah, this fight, I don't think it works. Unless there's some sort of thing I'm missing that makes this way easier. This is just too convoluted. I had to move faster. That's what I needed to do. Come on. Alright. I gotta drop down and not get hit. Okay, there we go. Now I can go above. Oh, seriously? I have to get it to green? Oh, gosh. I do not like this. Okay, good. I have like 4 seconds to get down there. And this thing is so slow. It's definitely going to hit me before I have time. Yep. Oh, God. And to add insult to injury, I think the game froze. Wow, talk about brutal. Well then. I'm going to, we're going to call it a day, I think. It's a Saturday morning. I don't want to have to run through all that again on screen because that's not enjoyable for you guys. I think I'm gonna call it a short stream today, and just do that off screen, and give you the rundown of how it actually happened later. So, oh, that is frustrating. Like, if it hadn't frozen, I could have just. I don't think it. No, it would have started me out at my save point. So I guess it's the same thing as dying, but. Oh well. Anyway, thank you for those of you who tuned in. if you like the game design discussions and stuff, give me a follow or subscribe or whatever it is on whatever platform you're using. Kick, Twitch, YouTube. I'm on Instagram and TikTok as well, where I share a lot of my gaming shorts. Mostly they're just kind of like little clips of me saying things about game design. If you agree, give me a like. If you don't agree, give me a like and tell me why I'm wrong. Call me an idiot or whatever. I don't really care. I appreciate the engagement either way. um, that's frustrating. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. Have a good day, everyone. Hopefully, this is not an omen for what the rest of the day will be like. All right, stay safe. I'll talk to you all. I'll talk to you all later. Uh, to quote, "I love you, man," which I always think of on these outros because I always don't know what to say. But I think when he says, "I'll see you in a jiff," and then he's like, "Why did I say that?" I think of that every single time. So if I ever say, "I'll see you in a jiff," that's where that comes from. I'm not just saying something stupid.